MS-DOS, the acronym for Microsoft Disk Operating System, was the dominant OS for personal computers during the 80s and 90s. But while it was originally built for business and productivity, it quickly became a major platform for gaming as well. Early MS-DOS games started as simple text-based adventures and evolved into some of the most groundbreaking titles in PC gaming history. Today we're diving into a mysterious game said to have been made for MS-DOS, an obscure title that slipped under the radar and remains shrouded in intrigue. Its discovery is just as fascinating. It was allegedly found by a man on a Japanese forum before sparking curiosity among Italian and English-speaking audiences. So, let's unravel this story and see what we can uncover about Toymaker. Three years ago, I found myself wandering through the stalls of a flea market. It was one of those picturesque places, full of forgotten objects and stories waiting to be discovered. It was there that my eyes fell on a little treasure, a Japanese game with the enigmatic title, Toymaker, carefully placed on a stand operated by a young vendor of Japanese origin. The urge to know the meaning of that title pushed me to turn to the young salesman with a polite smile. "Could you kindly translate the title of this game?" I asked, curious. The boy, with an equally polite smile, replied,
"This is Toymaker, a game designed to entertain all children."
I don't know why, but this sentence made me shiver, despite the boy's kindness. The mysterious attraction that game had on me was enough to make me give in to the temptation. I bought it for just $20, a modest price for a window into a distant video game past. However, the frenzy of everyday life had other plans for me, and the game ended up forgotten in the din of commitments. Life still had cards to play, and I found myself dealing with a move with boxes and chaos to manage. The video game sadly ended up in oblivion. Yesterday, while I was nostalgically searching for my old Game Boy in a dusty backpack, my eyes fell again to that forgotten game. An inexplicable inner strength pushed me to finally decipher its contents. Yet, as often happens in these stories of life, reality stood in the way. The game I discovered had been designed to run on an obsolete operating system called DOS. Despite this, I did not give up. I decided to take on this challenge and embarked on the adventure of recovering this lost video game. There was something strange about the cover of that game. It did not reveal anything about the gameplay, and I wanted to find out what the game contained. I downloaded DOSBox, an emulator that allows you to use old programs on today's systems, and with patience and determination, I finally managed to revive the Japanese game on my computer. I took a screenshot of the game's home screen. It looks like a low-quality image with the product name, copyright with the date and the creator's name. When I press the enter key, I enter the main menu, where you have three choices: Start Game, Load Game, and Options. Start Game didn't work. Load Game just crashes the game, and looking at options, it actually opened. This menu offered three options: sounds, controls, and exit to DOS. All of these simply crashed the game. It was frustrating to find that I couldn't get the game to work. I tried various methods, but it seemed to be stuck in the main menu, like a book with sealed pages. If anyone out there knows the secret to getting this to work, please contact me I would be very grateful for any help you can offer. There seems to be something special about this game, and I don't want it to remain an unsolved puzzle. What I just read was the original story by the person who supposedly found this game. This story was reposted on the English Creepypasta Wiki and then on the Italian Creepypasta Wiki. From the story, we can see an email was provided by a man named Kendrio, and the people who found this story decided to contact him.
I tried to email the guy who claims to have an original copy of the game, and he replied,
"Hi Matthew, I got your email, and sure enough, a guy online got in touch with me and he was interested into making the game work. I thought, why not accept his help? I sent him a copy of the game."
I waited for about 2 months. Then, after all that time, he finally reached out to me again via email.
"Hey there, I managed to make an executable version of your game. It's playable on Windows without needing an emulator, but it's not complete yet. I'm currently trying to extract a few files that might hold the secrets you mentioned, the ones you can activate with a specific key combination. I'll keep you informed."
The email included an attachment, the executable file of the game.
After contacting Kendrio from the original story, the user who uploaded this creepypasta uploaded the game alongside the reading. We can actually play this game. The guy that had contacted Kendrio managed to somehow make this game run through an executable file. If we look at the main menu screen, we can see that it was converted by an alias known as Lost Games Finder, and the version we have on hand is version 0.1. Before we hop into the game, let's take a note that this game was investigated by both the Creepypasta Italian forum board and 4chan's paranormal board. From time to time, we will be taking a peek at these forums to help us investigate the contents of this mystery. Besides that, let's play the game. We start off in a very isolated and dark area. Boarded up windows surround us from almost every direction as a low, ominous hum plays. It's a bit eerie how it just throws you in without any sort of objective. All we know when jumping in is that this game is called Toymaker. That is literally it. Walking forward, however, we eventually come upon a door of some sort. Going through it, we find ourselves in a similar area, but with a sign that says, "Do not enter, forget that place." Ignoring that stupid-ass sign, we walk forward to find yet another door. Except it's metal this time. There isn't very much to this hallway. If you keep walking forward, it'll suddenly get even darker than before. If you were to turn around instead of marching forward, you'll find something back there. It's some sort of black man. That's really awkward to say. Let's see. It appears to be a person with a hole in their face, and you can't interact with them. Let's just go down the hallway fully this time. The game crashes, and I promise that's the only jump scare in this. It's not even that bad, really. Let's study it quickly, though. Now, this is a bit interesting. The jump scare fluctuates between two masks, one being the Onibaba from the Japanese 1964 film Onibaba, also known as The Hole. The other mask is from a DeviantArt page in 2010? What? The mask was made by a fan who wanted to cosplay Ergo Proxy, an anime from 2006, which is quite strange because why would there be something from DeviantArt in 2010 in an MS-DOS game from way back when? It doesn't add up. Well, except the fact that, again, this game was converted by a developer from the ground up pretty much. Or a hacker, I guess you could call him. So the assets that were on the original game could have simply been replaced. It's really odd, but it's honestly really the only rational explanation. Anyways, we should probably move on. Going back, if you were to approach the sign and touch it, and then decided to go back where you came from, you would actually end up somewhere else and not the starting area. The aspect ratio changes, and what lies in front of us is a bunch of floppy disks as walls. The floppy disks in question are the games Zork 2 and Wolfenstein 3D. It's trying really hard to convince us this is an MS-DOS game. Additionally, as we explore, you'll come across teddy bears scattered throughout the area, which feels fitting given the title Toymaker. They don't serve much of a purpose though. Quick note though, the environment here is constantly shifting, so as we move forward, we'll notice walls opening or closing unexpectedly. Sometimes ones that weren't there before, or ones that seem to have vanished. Like this opening. Now, this part of the game is by far the most eerie to me. The unsettling ambient track dies down, and now our ears are left with nothing but the sounds of our footsteps. Progressing through, we find a new opening, a maze built by outstretched bricks. Now, there's quite a lot around here. It's a decently sized maze that has a lot to uncover. So let me throw out all of the highlights. Occasionally, when you're walking around, a short glitched buzz occurs. From what I could find, there's around 3 to 5 of these buzzes. It can catch you off guard sometimes. There's also these small areas, usually at the end of the corridors, where it will straight up just teleport you back to the same hallway with the jump scares from earlier. It plays out the exact same way every time if you're teleported. There's this area with an army of teddy bears, and if you approach them, your game just crashes. We can also find the same sign from the beginning area, but it's like stuck in the wall, and touching it doesn't do anything. It's very odd. The most intriguing part about this entire maze, though to me, is the fact that there are a bunch of areas in this place that crashes your game if you simply just walk in the right space. What's interesting though is that when you do, this happens.
I've never played these type of games before. Like obscure games. Teddy! Oh shit! Oh fuck.
Algo que me va a perseguir, estoy seguro. Fuck! Se ha abierto la disquetera, loco.
I heard footsteps that weren't my own. Or teddy bears. Yep, that's what happened. I was about to make a comment. A person commented saying when they played the game and they died, their disk drive opened, and mine did open. My computer's...
Your disk drive opens? The way the game taps into real life by doing this can be startling. If not for a scare, then what would be the purpose of this? For the moment, let's just put a pin on that and return to that later. Besides that, there's really nothing else to this maze, but we're not done with the game quite yet. We've still got a couple things to find. We're back at the starting area, but instead of moving forward this time, let's lean against the wall and see what happens. You clip into the wall and find this hidden place. There's text all over in Japanese that simply translates to, "Are you lost?" Beyond the text is a corridor. When we go down it, we're teleported back to the starting area, but this time it's different. More of these whole-faced people staring at us, with one standing behind us. And if we go to the end of this alley in front of us and head back, all of them, including the one that was initially behind us, are now all standing in a line together. There's really no significance surrounding them though, so let's just head into this new opening to the side. Another crash. This game really likes doing that. If we were to lean against the walls in the room with the sign, we'll find yet another alley filled with "Are you lost?" text. This area simply teleports you to the same place we were before. Now, for this next thing I want to showcase, it's something we'll have to visit the creepypasta forum for, because honestly, without it, there'd be no way to find out this next secret. Now, remember that weird part in this video earlier where in Kendrio's email he mentioned something about cheat codes? Well, the users of the Italian creepypasta forum picked up on that too, and decided to email him after investigating the game a bit. It took them quite a while, but Kendrio actually did respond, saying,
I can't tell you all the cheat codes, but try typing "do not forget" when you're in the first level. I don't know if the hacker is still working on the game at the moment, but he hasn't let me know anything. Bye, and I wish you good luck.
Huh. Okay, well, let's try that. The music completely halts, but nothing else seems to be out of the ordinary. Oh. No, yeah, that's different. Well, besides the cheesy woman scream sound effect, if we go back to this area and stand in this certain spot, we get this odd hum that doesn't go away. it's pretty strange, but besides that, that's all this game really has to offer. There's a lot to unpack here, but before diving into analysis, let's return to the forums discussing this game. In the Italian creepypasta thread, it was revealed that there was a website linked to the game. The community had to dig into the site's backend, uncovering usernames and passwords for restricted areas. What they found were log updates for the game and a supposed version 1.0 patcher. This website seems to be connected to the hacker Kendrio contacted to fix the game, as it included patch notes and a download link for a new version. Unfortunately, the link has been down for years, even when the investigation was active over a decade ago. So, where does that leave us? Well, the game itself doesn't present a clear narrative. The one thing that does stand out is a recurring character, a woman holding a bouquet of flowers. She shows up in both the maze and the starting areas, and in the starting area we need to input the code "do not forget" to encounter her. There's a possible connection to the sign in the second room that reads "forget that place." Do not forget that place. It's cryptic and it's like the connection isn't obvious. But here's where things take an interesting turn. We actually have some insights from the supposed developer himself. Back in 2014, a 4chan user reached out to Kendrio by email. However, instead of hearing back from Kendrio, the user received a reply from someone else, this mysterious developer. Apparently, Kendrio had passed along the user's contact details, so the developer could address the questions. So what did the developer have to say?
Hello, I am Toshimichi. I was given this email address by Mr. Kendrio. Please excuse my bad English. I am the creator of Toymaker. I created the original version of this game in 1992. The full game was released in 1994. I believe the version that people playing now is from 1992. As the maker of this game, I need to warn you about what it is. This is based on my experience and a real horror story from Japan. In 1958, there was a murderer by a man who makes children toys in his home. This is the story that my game was based on. The Toymaker killed many children in the Yonaguni town of Okinawa. The Toymaker's wife found bodies in his workshop, and this made her commit suicide. She hung herself in her husband's workshop and wrote messages on the walls throughout the house. My father was in Yonaguni at this time and worked with the police. He was sent to investigate the Toymaker's house when many people complained of strange smells from the house. He went inside and found the woman hanging herself as she was surrounded by the Toymaker's teddy bears. He was very scared and had not seen anything like this before. The bears had very real eyes, but before he could investigate, his fear made him run away. He told me about this story and says that when the other policemen searched the Toymaker's house, they found that he preserved the children's bodies and put them inside his toys. The bears surrounding his wife were victims. The Toymaker was not found until months later. His body was found in the sea with a happy smile on his face. Many people in Yonaguni now believe this story is a myth, but I know that my father was telling the truth. After I heard this story, I began to have nightmares and visions of the Toymaker's house and workshop. I based my game on this story and vision, but it did not have many released. The game was taken away after a child thought that the game was for children. It was not allowed to be sold after this, and I believe I own the only remaining copy. I believe the game you people are playing is a demo. I'm happy that my game has become popular with Western people. I didn't put much Japanese in the game, so it should be easy to understand. I still warn you. In the past, I was tortured with images of this man and his wife. Please do not look too deeply into this game. It can only turn out bad. Stop when you find a woman. There's no need to continue past this point. I've been asked before to release the original game, but I just can't do it. Mr. Kendrio contacted me before about what he found in this game, and he no longer wants to talk about it. I am busy, but I might have time to reply more in the future.
And well, that about seems to be it. At first, anyways, like at first glance, this might seem like a dead end. It's tough to tie everything together just by playing the game and reading the scattered lore, but I wasn't satisfied with that. I still had lingering questions like, why does the CD drive open in the maze? And is there a version 1.0 of this game hidden somewhere? It seemed like there was more to this mystery, and as it turns out, I was right. In 2019, 6 years after the mystery first surfaced, a post appeared on the Toymaker thread of the Italian forum from a user called LoneDev. This person claimed to be the actual creator of the game. According to them, the game was inspired by the classic creepypasta The Theater, and there was supposed to be much more to it. For instance, the scene where the CD drive opens in the maze, that was originally intended as a puzzle where players would need to insert a disc to continue, which is fucking crazy to me. They even had plans for a PS1 version of the game. So, yeah, I mean, the game's fake. I mean, did you really think it was real? You know? So while it's true that the game itself and its story isn't real in the way that we might have hoped, it's still a fascinating mystery to explore. And honestly, I'm not done yet. I've still got a few things to dig into and share about this game. If you're disappointed that it's fake though, you can go ahead and click off, but if you're still interested, then stick around. I've got some things to share for sure. I contacted Lone Dev and also dug into the game's files. It was made with GameMaker, by the way. It had some unused assets that I wanted to question. Besides that, this is a bit of a tiny digression, but the woman in the game was recognized as the lady from the original theater game. Supposedly, it was a secret movie in the game you had to access in order to see her. However, I've played the game and looked all around the internet, and there's really only one video showcasing this woman. So I dug into the theater's games files, and I couldn't find a single trace of her anywhere. So I think she was made as a hoax for the theater, but then was reused as an asset in Toymaker. Just found that interesting. There was also a few other things like this entity that was supposed to be in the game. Lone Dev actually told me that this thing was originally going to be what the sign was. Or what was this symbol supposed to be on the main menu? It almost kind of resembles a QR code, but it's clearly not, so what is it? Missing No. It's Missing No from Pokemon. He literally grabbed Missing No from like a picture and then scrambled it up. It's just fucking Missing No. There's nothing deeper to it, don't worry. And there really was supposed to be an update to the game. Like, the Toymaker himself was supposed to be there. Here's an animation of him. I've also got some unseen footage to showcase the update that was supposed to happen. So yeah, I mean, while it may be disappointing to some that it's fake, I think it's still fun. And the next updated version basically came out on Steam. It's currently just $1 and it includes so much more content. It recently just released in 2023, like a decade later, and it's fully fledged now, and I plan on playing it on the channel, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned. And go support Lone Dev. He made an awesome mystery that people were trying to solve for years, basically. And so yeah, that about wraps it up, really. I do want to announce that I am going to be making a Patreon soon because these videos do take time to make. I had to work on this for 2 weeks straight. I could have gotten it done faster, but of course I've got a life to live as well. You know, I've got work and everything and people to actually pay attention to. So that, you know, I have a fucking life, you know. So if you guys want more content like this, like it'll help a lot so that you know, I can get better programs and whatnot, like get the full version of Davinci Resolve. There's some things I could really use with this program, and it could be pretty frustrating when I don't have access to it, and just things like that. And I plan on making like tier rewards and shit like that soon, but damn, that was bad. But for the moment, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm really tired right now. Like I've been working on this for so long, so I'm kind of like scattered brained. But yeah, so I'll be starting a Patreon. If you're interested, please support me. If not, totally fine. I don't care. I really hope you guys enjoy the video. And if you guys have any recommendations of what else I should cover, like totally go to the comments and tell me what's out there. Like what's really interesting that you think I could cover that you want to see me like edit with my style and talk about, you know? I do plan on getting better and better with these videos. Like this one is a step up from my last one with the Heli Cult. Like I'm not gonna let this train stop. I'm gonna keep going. So I appreciate you guys watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.